What was that?
I think there's moose.
You think there's moose?
So,
You think
I can't
so?
see them, but if
There are cows in the area.
if we get a chance to talk to them, I might ask them.
These windows are filthy.
After a busy few days in the hustle and bustle of Chicago, we definitely needed to spend a few days living at a little bit slower pace in a surrounding that was a bit quieter. Enter Wisconsin's Driftless region. Located in the southwestern part of the state along the mighty Mississippi River, this rugged yet serene countryside served as the perfect location for our first bout of scheduled downtime on our adventure.
We are on a hike in Wisconsin, which is not something that you maybe thought we'd be doing in Wisconsin, but we are in what is known as the Driftless region, which from what I understand was not destroyed during the last ice age. Hence there's small mountains and bluffs and things to hike. It's pretty thick, as you can see. How you doing? The bugs are pretty bad this morning. Yeah, it's not great. This is also a pretty marshy area, but we're doing it, right?
Yep.
And your boy is very tasty to bugs. Mosquitoes, I swear. If you're like me, mosquitoes will find you and they will tear you apart. Please let me know if you have any kind of non-bug spray related remedies for mosquitoes because I need them desperately. So it's not an ideal situation for anybody, especially people who don't want bug spray. Then we're gonna make a random stop across the river when we're done.
One of the most rewarding parts of travel is when you find a place that wasn't on your original itinerary. You go and you have some kind of amazing experience, be it a meal, be it a person you met, whatever the case may be, it's a memorable part of the rest of your life. So after our hike, we decided to make a pit stop across the other side of the Mississippi River in the town of Lansing, Iowa. Upon arriving in town and having coffee along the Mississippi River, our cross-country adventure nearly came to an end when a whole-ass train came rumbling by the coffee shop as we were walking out. We almost got hit. But nevertheless, we persevered after our near-death experience and proceeded to explore the town and all its quaint little happenings, including this indoor flea market, which gave me a little bit of anxiety given how unorganized it was, but Karen really seemed to enjoy herself. And then after checking the state of Iowa off of our list, it was time to head back to Wisconsin for some proper downtime. Good morning. Today is Sunday, June 16, 2024, Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, everybody. We have spent the last couple of days here in rural Wisconsin along the Mississippi River, just taking it slow. You know, I think since the beginning of the trip, we've been kind of moving a lot at a pretty quick pace, and we've been up to our old tricks of trying to squeeze as much as we possibly can into whatever time we have available. For the last couple of days, we haven't done that. We intentionally picked this place that was in more of a countryside kind of setting. I mean, we're not far from the Mississippi River, but it's very, very quiet. A lot of land, which is making Karen very happy. I know Chicago stressed her out a little bit.
Because I'm done with Chicago. And I went somewhere a little bit calmer.
I love Chicago. Shout out to
I
Chicago.
liked it. It's fine. It's just, I don't know. You know, it's fine. It's fine. I'm just not used to it.
So this was much needed. We both needed to relax, catch up on some work. I got caught up on some editing, which was great. I made some sourdough, which, you know, I don't have all of my sourdough making tools, but 2 loaves came out pretty well, 2 not so well. Part of this whole adventure is figuring out a new routine for ourselves, and I think a crucial part of that is understanding downtime and understanding that with a lot of freedom comes a lot of responsibility. And I think not wanting to just seem like you're sitting around, it's a feeling that both of us have, and making sure that we remain, you know, productive in some way, shape, or form. When you come from a world where there's so much structure that's already made for you, and then you're just out of it, it can feel like you're swimming a little bit, where you're just sort of like, oh, I can swim wherever I want to, and then you're like, holy shit, I can swim wherever I want to. No one's gonna tell me not to swim. It can be a little bit tricky to start figuring that out, and I just hope that we can figure out a way to make a better routine than either of us have ever had. You know, I have obviously making videos and writing, and I'm staying busy for the most part, but it's not as easy for Karen. She took a big chance by going on this adventure with me, and I don't want her to regret that. So I need to help her to figure out what her new daily life is going to look like and make sure it's one that she enjoys and is happy with. Figuring out a more intentional daily pace is going to be key from here on out, despite being on this life-changing adventure. It's raining. This is our first real day of shitty weather that we've had so far for the entire adventure, and I mean, it's bound to happen eventually, but it did have to happen on a day where we need to pack the car. Hopefully the rain holds out long enough for us to be able to do that at least.
And with that, it was time to say goodbye to our tiny farmhouse. Getting breakfast in town that morning, we were filled with a renewed sense of adventure and exploration, which would fuel that day's journey to the next destination on our adventure. First stop that day was one of the smallest towns in Wisconsin, also known as one of the happiest, and that could have something to do with the fact that it is a Scandinavian-themed town. This was yet another unplanned stop, and it was one that we were happy to make given that we had previously read about it, and also that I happen to be of Scandinavian descent. That may have had something to do with it too.
Smallest town in Wisconsin, 200 people.
And where are we? What?
Stockholm.
She said Stockholm. Hence the blue and white. Despite the Swedish stuff all over the place and the fact that the town's name is Stockholm, my family is of Norwegian descent, and of course I had to go find all the Norwegian shit in town. And just like that, we were back on the road heading through Dairyland, which is a little bit more of what I think most people expect when they think of Wisconsin, on our way to, very appropriately, have a dairy-themed snack. You don't go to Athens and skip the Parthenon, just like you don't go to Wisconsin and skip the cheese curd capital of the world. It's true, the town of Ellsworth, Wisconsin is known as the cheese curd capital of the world, and the Ellsworth Creamery is the reason why. Now, if you have any kind of food allergies or food intolerances, Wisconsin probably is not the place for you, and this is a prime example of why. Cheese curds, as far as the eye could see, meant that Karen and I really had to control ourselves when we were shopping. And up the road a little bit in the town of Menominee is the factory for Ellsworth Creamery. But of course, with our luck, it was bound to be a little less glamorous. So we are currently on a self-guided tour of the Ellsworth Cheese Curd Factory.
Nothing's happening.
Yeah, I guess there's no production today. I don't know. It's interesting to see the equipment, but it'd be a lot more interesting if people were working making cheese. And I'm just gonna say it, fried cheese curds are good, but plain cheese curds, I think, take the cake for me. Despite how much we enjoyed our time in Wisconsin, it was still difficult for us to have some scheduled downtime. And even at the time of recording this, a month later, I could still say that it's difficult for us now. But we are definitely improving with it, and we are constantly reminding ourselves of a truth that I think most people can benefit from. You are no good to anyone else if you are not good to yourself. Taking a beat to rest and recoup is only going to serve to benefit you as you pursue whichever of life's many endeavors you choose. I hope this message finds you well, and we will see you in the next one. Okay, love you, bye. Not a motherfucking drill. All of them.